Our next speaker is a mother of three. She's a Canadian New Zealander. She's got a master's in environmental education. She's a published author, a well-known speaker, a blogger, a podcaster, and the founder of Go2Girl. She is the go-to-girl for women entrepreneurs all over the world. I'd like to warmly welcome Natalie Cutler Welsh.
Nice job. Thank you. Can you hear me? Thumbs up. Awesome. That's what I say to my kids every day. I'm like, how was your day? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, or thumbs down. That's kind of the way we start the conversation. Hey, first of all, I hope you're having a great day. Many of you know that I went to Social Media Marketing World in March, and I just said to Juanita, the caliber of speakers here is what we heard, that same caliber in America. So yay, first of all, to Juanita. Awesome. Seriously, so good, so good. And yay to you guys for taking a whole day out, because I know it's a huge commitment to take a whole day out from your business or your job. And so I'm going to give you some social media goodness. Just this past weekend, I went to see Cats, the musical. Has anyone seen it, before or here in New Zealand? So I took my daughter along. We have this family tradition. So every year, each child gets to go one-on-one to a musical or something like that. So we went to Annie, went to Peter Pan. Not all of us, just one-on-one, which is really special. My daughter leans over and she says to me, "Mommy, when are they going to change the set, the scene?" I'm like, "I don't think they are." A few minutes later, "Mommy, when are they going to talk?" I'm like, I don't think they are. They're just singing. It's amazing. It's a spectacle. There's 30 people dressed up as cats on stage the entire time. It's a lot to take in. It's amazing. Lots of singing. It's incredible dancing. But I was thinking, oh my God, it's actually just like social media. There is so much going on, right? And you almost don't even know where to look. You don't know where to put your attention. And so today, I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about that overwhelm that you can sometimes feel when you're trying to do stuff online and it's all coming at you and you're just figuring out what is relevant to my business, to my people, where should I be, where should I not be? So what I'm hoping to do is to kind of take what Anna and Cassie and Evan talked about and build on that for you guys. So I'm going to share with you my 5 secrets to social media success. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm the Go2Girl social media coach. I work predominantly with women entrepreneurs. I'm happy to help men as well, but my niche, my ideal client is women entrepreneurs. I also have a podcast, which he mentioned, which is really fun, and I'm going to mention podcasting a little bit later as well. I'm juggling the mother load. Any other mothers in the crowd? Right, so awesome. So juggling the mother load, see, I even hashtagged it. It's a term that I don't know if I created it, but I use it all the time. It basically means you're running a business while raising a family. And it is a juggle. It's a huge juggle. And so that's something that I like to talk about as well. I work with women entrepreneurs. I hold these awesome networking events. Social media, I talked about the Cats, the musical. Social media, it's like a golden retriever puppy. We went the other day to see my friend's 9 golden retriever puppies, and it was there was Facebook, and there was Pinterest, and there was Google, and they're all running all over the place. It's really fun and exciting, but it's overwhelming and exhausting. So hopefully I'm going to clear through some of that for you. Other people have said, don't try to be everywhere, and what I tell my clients usually is try to be on 2 to 3 social media platforms where your people are hanging out. Okay, that echoes what some of the other people have said. So I'm happy about that. So secret number 1 is to know your so that. Let me explain. It's really to know your reason for being on social media, okay? So before you get stuck into what should I post and how many times a day and all that kind of stuff, it's take a step back and ask yourself, what is my goal? Why am I even on social media? And usually it'll be to attract my ideal client, to then invite them back to my website so they will buy my product or service, right? Something like that. Yeah, just give me a little nod if that sounds like your goal, your vague goal. And that is the goal, really, through engagement and answering questions and inspiring people. I asked this same question to one of my clients recently. I said, what's your goal for social media? And she said, by the end of the year, I want to have 1,000 on my list and 25 paid members of Team Run for Your Life. So she's got a business she trains people on how to run for marathons. It's called Run for Your Life. It's that's great, that's awesome. But what's your so that? Meaning, it's kind of like your why. What is your so that? So that what for these people? So what's the outcome? She said to me, and I love this, I asked her if I could quote her. She said, it's more than about the numbers. I want to inspire and motivate other women who have low self-esteem, low fitness, and low confidence to take back that power through running. I want to help other women to change their lives because I know it's possible if you know how to do it. And I was like, there we go. You know, there we go. That's her so that for her people. And I think it's so important to know that, you know, just to remind yourself of that. Like, why am I even spending all this time on Facebook or on LinkedIn or wherever you are? Just go back to your so that. So I'd love you guys, if it comes to you, to write down on your notes something like that. So the question really is actually, what's your so that for your clients? I'd love it now if you could just turn to a stranger, like someone you haven't met yet, and ask them, ask them what's your so that for your clients. So basically you're just going to take 1 minute each telling each other, what is your so that, right? So my so that is ... Go forth. Okay, and just swap. Just swap. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All done? Attention. Okay, great. I hope you found that helpful. It's actually quite interesting when you get into like, what is your so that for your client? And a little challenge that I gave to some of the girls in my mastermind group recently was I had them do this. I had them go, I help demographic who are struggling with problem so that they can solution, right? So I had them fill in that sentence. And that's so interesting when you do that. It's kind of like, it's not your 60-second spiel, but it just makes it really quick and snazzy for yourself in your mind to know what you're trying to achieve. And also if you're meeting someone at a networking event or something, or even here today, you can really quickly summarize. So for me, I'll use that same thing, but I'd love it if you could do the same thing for yourself on a piece of paper. Okay, so I help demographic. So I help women entrepreneurs who are struggling with problem, social media overwhelm, so that they can have more fun and flow in their business. Okay, so that's mine. So just as a little challenge to you as I'm talking, just see if you can come up with yours. Sorry, I don't have a slide for it, but basically I help demographic who are struggling with problem so that they can solution. Great. A little bit of homework for you during my session. Ooh, they're very studious. Good. All right. Okay, and then the question is, okay, so what's your so that for you, right? Because you're in business totally to help these people, which is usually why you started it, because like you saw a need and you're really awesome at it, right? That's a business, right? Something you're good at, something you love doing, and something people will pay for. There's your business, great. But really, what's your so that for yourself? Because so many times you get so overwhelmed in all of the things on your crazy to-do list, and by the way, it never ends. You just need to prioritize, which is hard. But come back to your so that for you. This is a picture of my dream board. How many people have a dream board or a vision board of some description? Great, awesome. It's so good to revisit your dream board. I had a friend come over lately. She was like, wow, there's a lot of water on your dream board. There's a lot of like boats and trips to like Samoa and just cool stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that makes me feel relaxed, that kind of stuff. So revisit your so that, like when you get all these amazing clients and you help them with that problem that we just talked about, how is that going to change your life? Like what's the vision, what's the movie that you play in your head for your lifestyle that allows you to have? And for me, like it's, let me see if I have it. Yeah, so the question is what's the so that for you? For me, it's so I can have fun family times with my 3 kids. You know, so Ruby, my 8-year-old, can have piano lessons, so I can take my family back to Canada, where I'm originally from, and show them where I grew up, you know, cool stuff like that. And, you know, I want to donate lots of money to lots of good causes. That's a huge part of my vision. So I guess I'm saying to you guys, make sure that you, now and then, today, revisit your so that for your people and also for you. Does that make sense? Cool. I think it's a really important part before we get too stuck into social media. Okay, secret number 2, one of my favorite sayings is give, give, get. Let me explain. When you're on social media, you don't want to just be broadcasting, like, here I am at social media conference, and oh, come to my workshop, and follow me on Pinterest, right? You don't want to just be doing call to action stuff or just telling people stuff. You actually want them to ask questions, engage with you. People love to give advice. We mentioned I wrote a book. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. Parenting audience. Parents love to give advice. They love it. So sometimes I'll go up there and I'll be like, oh my gosh, you know, my child, whatever scenario, does anyone have any tips for that? And people are boom, 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 comments. And as you probably know in social media, particularly Facebook, the goal is to get people to engage with your page, right? Get them to like, comment, or share. We want them to hit one of those 3 buttons. And if you ask a question that gets them talking, then your posts are going to go further afield. More organic reach, more strangers will see them. So it's great for your community, and it's also great for your reach to do that, not just to broadcast. Do you know what I mean? So give, give, get. You want to give, you want to be helpful and friendly, and you also want to get something back in return, of course. So I've seen clients come to me, and they're amazing at being helpful and friendly. They're doing inspirational quotes, they're doing entertaining, cute things, they're being educational, they're giving great links to amazing YouTube clips or whatever it may be, but they're never asking for the sale. They're never saying, hey, come work with me or buy my product. I have other clients that come to me, and they're just doing too much call to action, and they're not giving enough. So it's a fine balance. So if you're in private Facebook groups, for example, or in a circle, in Google, then make sure that you are helpful and friendly, and then when it's relevant, you can do a call to action or tell people to come and find out more about your business. So engage with people in private Facebook groups, as well as on your page. Also, another tip is to go to other pages where your people are hanging out and do posts and say, hey, great, loved your blog. Comment on the wall. Don't just do a spammy post about yourself that's just going to go off to the side. Actually engage in conversations where your ideal clients are hanging out, and your name will get known. You also want to create and curate compelling posts. There's a lot of C's in there. So create, I think earlier Troy did a really great example talking about how we are creators. We have our phone, we take pictures. You can use really cool tools like WordSwag to put the text on and cool stuff like that. That's creating posts, images, or a blog that you write, that's creating. And then curating is like in an art gallery, right? Where you're getting the great collections of art together. So you find an interesting video clip on YouTube and you pop it up on your page. Or you find a great blog that someone else has written and you pop it up on your page because you're being helpful, right? And you're educating them. You don't have to have done the video clip or the blog. It's relevant to your ideal client, then it makes sense to put it up there. So part of the get is really doing a call to action post now and then. So I'm using lots of Facebook examples, but you can, wherever you are, right? On LinkedIn, on Google+, and wherever it might be, you can do call to action as well. So I'm running this networking event. It's happening really quick. We've got a very small lead time. We are raising money for Shine. We want to reduce domestic violence in New Zealand. So I've called it Connecting for a Cause, hashtag Connecting for a Cause. So this is a call to action post. I'm thrilled to be involved with this Connecting for a Cause networking event for women in business. It's going to be an evening full of fun and inspiration, as well as making a difference. We're aiming to raise over $10,000 for Shine. You grab your tickets here. So that's like a call to action. And I was trying to make it, I could even do a better job at making that more of a story. Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to kind of describe the outcome, the experience that they'll have, not just buy your tickets link, but trying to paint a little bit of a picture for them. More and more, Facebook is moving towards like you actually have to do more of a story. Don't use the word like sale, ending soon, free, this, those words kind of stand out as being advertisements. So you need to do your call to actions more like a story. You can also do a combination of those. You can do an engaging post that is also a call to action. So let's say I'm on Google or something. Anyone else on Pinterest? Comment below with your URL and we can follow each other, or Facebook. So I'm getting them, I'm on Facebook, and I'm saying, hey, are you guys on Pinterest? Like, if you are, comment below, and like I said before, if they comment, the organic reach is gonna go further and further. And then literally, I'm gonna go and follow them. So I'm kind of taking my Facebook followers, getting them to follow me on Pinterest, and probably also growing my Facebook followers at the same time because I'm getting more organic reach because they're commenting. Does that make sense? Great. So this is my biggest secret. I've got lots of tips for the secret, give, get. And the next one is about giving them a window into who you are as a person, right? So when you scroll through your newsfeed, make sure that you're giving people a little bit of a window into who you are. This will depend a little bit about whether you're a brand or you are the face of your business. How many people are the face of their business, like me? Like I'm the face of the business, right? So if you are, then often, not always, but often it makes sense to have literally your face as the profile picture on your image and make that consistent across the platforms. If you're not the face of your business, then you would probably put your logo there, yeah? But give them a window into who you are as a person, like the person behind the scenes. People love that. They like to know that you're real. There's a lot of people out there that teach social media. People come to me because I'm fun and I'm very action-orientated and I give them specific things to do. But you need to be who you are and give them a bit of a window. Whether you do that through video, so this is YouTube, whether you upload native video that you've taken, so the girls over here from Rockabye Early Learning Center, they're really great at putting video up directly up onto Facebook. So they film it, they get the parents' permission at the daycare. They film it and then they upload it straight to Facebook. And it gets lots and lots of views, and that works really, really well. And then people that are their potential clients see the video and think, oh, those kids are having fun. I want my kids to have fun while I'm working. I think I'll sign up for their childcare. So video can work wonders for you. Make sure, though, that you're going to be true to you. Like, make sure you're true to yourself. Don't go and film video if it freaks you out and it's not your style. Like, maybe a blog is better for you, or maybe both. It depends on who you are and what your goal is. So you can do Facebook posts, you can do blogs, you can do emails, right? You can share your story in your emails. I told you before that I have this podcast, which is like an online radio show. And that's another way to share your story and your knowledge. You guys could get interviewed on someone else's podcast, and that's another way to share your story. So telling stories is huge on social media. You could even do a video if you don't want to be like the face in front of it. You could just do like a behind the scenes, either a picture or a video, right? Like let's say I work in a shop and we provide homewares. I'd be like, hey, look at the great, I'm commentating over a video and I'm filming it, right? So I'd be like, hey, check what, we just got this beautiful new teapot in, we got the range has just arrived, I show the box and I show that we're unwrapping it. So I don't just show the professional photos of the teapot. I actually show them like behind the scenes and how we're just unwrapping them and maybe there's only 27 of them left. A little bit of sense of urgency always helps. It needs to be true. Yeah, does that help? So a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to talk about Periscope in a minute, but that's another great way to show people the behind the scenes of what goes on in your business and just giving them a bit of a window. Okay, so some of you might have heard of Julie Bossali, and she went viral not so long ago when she shared her story about her baby belly and how, and showed the real story about how you don't get super skinny real quick after having a baby. People loved it. The ladies around the world loved it. It was in the media. She got on, all sorts of, got interviewed multiple times all about it because she was just sharing her real story and she took these photos and that was perfect for her specific audience, okay? You don't have to go doing that same thing, but just think, what story do I have to share that would resonate with my people, and they'd maybe actually get to know me more, and I just seem more real to them because when you seem really just real and genuine, then people are going to be more drawn to you. Okay, so tip number 3 is use cool apps and tools. So I've only chosen a few. There's actually tons out there. I mentioned Word Swag before, which lets you put text. It's on your phone. Lets you put really cool text on top of images. I mentioned Periscope, which I'll go through in a minute. Dango for giveaways, lead pages. Image Chef is one that I've just started using. It's you can put, they've got like the cover of Time magazine or the coffee cup, and you can write the words in the latte, or the beach, and it's got the waves rolling in. So that's pretty cool. Those are just some tools that make it really quick and easy, quicker than Canva. Canva's on your Canva, most of my Canva work, which is like Photoshop for beginners. On canva.com, I create a lot of images, but if I just want to do something quick and easy on my phone, I'll use Word Swag or Image Chef. So I wanted to ask you guys, what's your favorite app or tool at the moment that you've just discovered? Can you just yell some out? Yeah, Canva. Anyone else? Yeah, Photoshop for like kind of the more advanced graphics. Anyone else discovered anything cool? Anyone use Word Swag? Good.
I use Fiverr.
Yeah, Fiverr? Yeah, to get people to do work for you? Yeah, so I love it. So you're outsourcing. So instead of like plugging away doing something that maybe isn't in your area of genius or interest, you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna spend $5 and get someone in another country to do it. I'll give them the brief, they'll do it. That's great. And that is really part of that whole thing about, it's overwhelming, and you don't, as a small business owner or in your job, you don't need to do everything. You can delegate some tasks to other people as well. Using hashtags, we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Hashtags are a great way to search. I have a few private Facebook groups. One of them's a free group, the other one is a paid membership. And it's so great because if I go in there and I search hashtag Facebook, or like I'm in a private Facebook group, and I go and I hashtag Pinterest or something, it'll bring up all the posts where anyone's ever mentioned, Pinterest. So it's quite a cool way to search within your private groups. Or if you guys go into, let's say Twitter, and you just go hashtag, women in business or something, it'll bring up any post where anyone in the world has used that hashtag women in business. So you could think of what word, hashtag fitness if you're in the fitness industry, hashtag healthy food or whatever. You can search for what's going on, but you can also use those hashtags in your posts so that your posts can be found by people who search. Does that make sense? Great. So hashtags are really, really helpful. It is a very helpful tool. Generally, in terms of what to do and what not to do, you can use tons of hashtags in Instagram, tons. In Facebook, it's not really done. People kind of do 2 or 3 at the end of their little post. And in Twitter, people tend to use the hashtags within the sentence. That's just kind of the way people use it. Now, I mentioned Periscope before. Just hands up if you've heard of Periscope. Okay, awesome, great. Hands up if you've done a Periscope, like you've actually filmed one. Okay, hands up if you've watched a Periscope. Great, excellent. So Periscope is like it's my new love. I am gonna get into Blab. It's perfect for me because I've been interviewing people on my podcast for years, but Periscope is basically like anyone around the world can be a news reporter. Okay, so it's a live stream video app. It's free, it's on your phone. Twitter bought Periscope as soon as it came out, and that's why they're linked. So if you're on Twitter and you do a Periscope, like I did 2 this morning with some of the speakers, and it just flicks out a little tweet saying, Go-To Girl NZ is live with Anna Stretton, whatever it is that I put in there. So this is basically what it looks like. It's not live, I'm not really doing it, but it would be like, you tap to start. Whatever you start with, it shows what it's looking at. So it showed the teapot to start with. So maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe I'd just do this. And tap that. Double tap to turn it around. Hey guys, hey, Natalie Cutler Welsh here. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, hi from Switzerland. Hey, oh my gosh. Yep, so I'm gonna be talking today about 5 secrets to social media. Oh, hey from Sweden. Hey, how are you? Anyway, so, no, I'm not Australian. No, my accent's Canadian. Yeah, my parents moved there. They're Kiwis, they moved there when I was born there. Anyway, long story. So I'm gonna be talking about social media tips. And so it basically kind of looks like that. It's so interesting. It films your face, unless you double tap and it turns the screen around. And you're just talking, and all these comments are coming up. So people from around the world are coming on, and they'll say, hi from Sweden, hi from Switzerland, or I like your scarf, and all this. It's quite distracting. But if you have in mind, know your goal, right? If you have in mind, okay, I want to share 3 tips on social media, or if you're into, someone give me a job, tell me what your business is. Thank you. Beauty salon. Okay. So let's say you're going to do, two essential beauty tips you want to do every day. That's your topic. You go into your notes on your phone. This is what I do whenever I have a bright idea. I write it down in my notes so that when I want to do a Periscope, I just copy it, I paste it in, I use the emojis, and then you'd be good to go. Hey, I'm here. Hey, everyone, I'm going to be sharing 2 tips today, essential beauty tips that you need to do every day. So you have your plan of what you want to say. Ideally, if you're going to share knowledge, you want to write it down so you don't forget, because you can get really distracted when all these people are just commenting on your scarf and what country they're from. So I usually encourage that. I say, hey, comment and let me know what country you're watching from. And people will watch from around the world. It's quite fascinating. But if you have an online business particularly, or something you can sell online, it's an amazing way to grow an audience, and then you can send them to your Facebook page or tell them to like you on Pinterest or whatever it may be. So you can showcase your expertise, you can give value on your particular topic, and you can also go and watch other people in the beauty area or whatever, and you can comment on their Periscopes. So if you're too nervous to go live, you can engage by commenting, hey, hi from New Zealand. I mean, everyone loves New Zealand, I have to tell you. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, someone from New Zealand's watching, and they'll probably follow you as well. So it's very new. I mean, it came out in March. It's not that new, but it's really hot right now. And if you want to find out more, I have a free PDF on my website and my Facebook page that gives you 6 mistakes you don't want to make on Periscope. Because there's a few little things you don't want to do.
Can you say hi to Houston?
Hi, Houston. Everyone loves New Zealand, I'm telling you. Okay, so the other thing that Juanita mentioned is Blab. I'm not going to go into massive detail, but Blab allows you to have 4 people on the screen at the same time. I'm doing mime. Think kind of group Skype, so 4 people on the screen. And often one person will interview somebody else, and then they'll invite anyone who's watching to come into the call. I had a client the other day, and she was on a call. It was Darren Rouse from Pro Blogger was interviewing somebody else, and they had 2 spare seats. So my client was like, no one's going? I'm going. So there she was. There were 400 people watching. And you're live. It's pretty freaky. Like with Periscope and Blab and Meerkat, you're live online. Like they can see your face. So it's a little bit scary. It's a bit different from filming a video that you get to decide later if you're actually going to go post it up. It's different from filming a podcast where they don't normally see your face, or if they do, it's pre-recorded, and then you publish it later, because this, Blab, is live, and Periscope is live. But Blab, it's got so much potential. It's going to be incredible. So yeah, those are just some things to think, okay, that's interesting, Nat. Thanks for telling me. How can I apply that to my business? Right? And for some of you, it'll be a definite, like, yes, I can totally see that. And for other people, you'll be like, not right now, or no way. So that's fine. Another tool that I love is Zoom.us. This is the way that I'm, at the moment, recording some of my podcasts. So I actually have somebody that I'm interviewing in my studio. That's why we're sitting together. But with Zoom, you can also be in separate locations as well. Or you can just do something by yourself. Like if you just want to film like a 5-minute thing of yourself talking about something, or yourself for 1 minute, and then you click screen share and you do a PowerPoint, kind of like a webinar, but not to a big audience, just to your, to nobody, and then you can play it later. Or you can actually, like a webinar, you can invite people to watch it live, and I think you can have 25 people live watching you with the video format. But if you want to find out more, I can tell you more about that later, but Zoom.us is awesome. It's really great. So the other tip I've got is to repurpose your content. So this is a screenshot of my YouTube account where I have uploaded some Periscopes that I've recorded. So I did one on 3 tips for juggling the mother load. I did one on how to get your business to stand out on social media. And it's just, I make them public so anyone can watch them. They're free, which is great. And the idea is that some people will watch them, they'll think, wow, she's got a lot, she can help me with my business, and then they'll go to my website, or they'll go to my Facebook or wherever, and they'll follow me. So that's kind of the way that you'd use it. I'm doing well in timing, 8 minutes left. Okay, tip number 4 is to know and target your niche. This is kind of coming back to the so that. It's like, who are my people, right? And sometimes, how many people actually their own business? It's your own actual business. Okay. I don't know if you can relate to this, but sometimes when you start out a business, you're like, okay, these are the people I'm going to work with. Or, I want to help everybody, right? Like I did at the start. I want to help everyone. No, then you actually have to narrow it down, yeah? Kind of like Evan was doing with the Facebook targeting. You want to actually know your niche And even more than that, this is a term that Natalie Cutler, who's a friend of mine, she's a Kiwi, the suitcase entrepreneur. Who is your red carpet client, she talks about. And what do we mean by red carpet client? Like, who is your total ideal client? Like, would you just jump out of bed and get so excited to go and work with them if you had an appointment with them that day? Like, who are they? Specifically, who are they? So we call that your avatar, right? Who is she? What is her name? Like, where does she shop? What car does she drive? How old are her kids, right? So it might be, okay, so my ideal red carpet client is Sarah, and she's got 2 kids. The youngest just started school, and she's finally got more time on her hands to really delve into her business. She likes to get a bit of exercise in, because or else she goes a bit crazy, right? So she always has, every Saturday morning, she listens to podcasts to stay up with things, but she's really just ready to spend so much more time on her business, but she's a bit overwhelmed, and she needs the help of someone like me. Like, just paint the picture like that, and you can get really clear on who she or he or they are, so that then when you're writing your posts on social media or you're like crafting your email to send out, you are writing to Sarah with the 2 kids who goes crazy if she doesn't get her exercise in. Like, you're writing to her. You're not just like writing to everybody, right? Okay, people will come to your website and they will bounce off, and that's totally cool, because if they're not your ideal client, then it's not a match made in heaven. But you need to know who your ideal client is, and it's so great to revisit that. Where does she shop? What car does she drive? How old are her kids? Why do I want to know that? Because you can target those places on Facebook, right? She drives a BMW? Okay, great. In the interest section, I'm going to target the BMW Facebook page. Yeah? What she loves, Starbucks, I'm going to target Starbucks, or whatever. It's amazing what you can do on Facebook for targeting ads, and Evan covered a lot of it earlier. You can create custom audiences. You can target website visitors. You can get the pixel from Facebook, which is code. You can put it on your website, and then you can target anyone who's come to your website in the past 6 months, which means when they go to Facebook and they scroll through, they're like, oh, that's funny. I just saw that pair of shoes, and here it is. It must be a sign. Click, buy it. But you're actually just retargeting them. So it's really cool. You can target anyone that's been on your website, which is a really smart strategy. If you've got a lead magnet. So before I mentioned, one of my opt-ins at the moment is my 6 mistakes you don't want to make on Periscope. What that is, it's called a lead magnet. I know some people will be like, what are you even talking about? Okay, so it's an electronic, like a PDF, a bit of information. If you give me your email address, I will give you this helpful and relevant bit of information. A top 10 list of things to do to stay beautiful and happy. A checklist, do's and don'ts, a 30-day challenge, a 7-day challenge. You've seen those on social media? Just nod like that? Yeah, great. Okay, so that's called an opt-in or a lead magnet or an ethical bribe. They're all the same thing. It's basically give me your email address and I'll give you this awesome thing. And then what I'll do is I'll nurture you with a series of emails so you get to know me, like me, and trust me, and then hopefully buy from me. That's kind of the philosophy. But the cool thing is on Facebook, you can target anyone who's come to your lead magnet, checked it out, but they haven't filled out their name and email address. Do you know what I mean? But they've gone to the actual page, and you can target them with a Facebook ad, so it's super cool. Is anyone else excited about Facebook ads? You can also target your database, which I know Evan also mentioned. So you can upload your MailChimp database, target them. You can create lookalike audiences. So much fun. The thing interesting, I was going to ask him, maybe we can talk to him in the panel, all of the images he used, like the avocado and the fruits and all that, like there was no text on the image, which I thought was interesting. So we'll ask him about that, because you might know about the 20% text rule, which means you're not allowed more than 20% text on the picture. And there's a tool, like a website you can go to. So I uploaded my picture, and I checked, and it was like, yep, this is 16%, you're fine, good to go. Whereas when I had it in a circle shape, it was the same words exactly, but circle shape, it took up more squares, and it was actually like 25%, and it would not get passed, which means Facebook would give it the big no, and that's actually not good. Like you need to check it, because if you just keep uploading stuff that is more than 20% text, it's not good for your Facebook ads account. So don't do that. Okay, we really want people. The goal is to get people to stop the scroll. Oh no, 3 minutes left. Okay. You want to have an image that evokes emotion. You want to use contrasting colors, even if it's not your branding sometimes. Like, look at this pink and red lady on the side. I'm like, my eye totally went to that. Maybe it's because it's pink and I love pink. But you want to have a headline that attracts. And you want to split test it, like he talked about as well. You want to, check your insights, and you want to tweak. right? So you want to pause things that aren't working, and you want to keep things going. Then you want to grow and nurture your list. So you want to have an opt-in or a lead magnet. Do these multi-day challenges are working better than anything at the moment right now. You can even have thank you pages with a video. So after they do your opt-in, you come up with a thank you page with a video about whatever it is that you offer. And email autoresponders, which are automatic emails that you set up once, and they just flow out to people, like 7 emails over a series of 2 weeks or whatever. Final tip, 2 minutes to go, is to bring them home, okay? All this stuff you're doing on social media, it's like, wait a minute, why are you doing it? To bring them on home. It's like a date. Bring them on home. Let them meet your mom so that they can work with you or buy from you. So whether they come from Pinterest and they click something, or whether they come from a social media post, a blog that you've written, or an opt-in thank you page, or an email, you want to bring them home. This is one of my clients, Claire from Dom's Kitchen. So if they found you on Facebook and they click through to your website, you want to make sure you've got consistent branding and they know they've landed in the right place. And then you want to present them with some clear pricing and packaging. I just updated my website like last week with some really clear, like, these are the 3 ways you can work with me. And it's just so much better for everybody than making it really confusing. When people get there, you want to offer a few price points. I'm running out of time, so I won't really go into detail on this, but yeah, a couple of price points. And also, this is like my biggest tip, looking back in my 3.5-year journey as an entrepreneur, is to offer niche offerings to your niche. Okay, what that means is you know who your people are. So when I wrote this book, I called it If Only They Told Me, Babies, Sex, and a Cup of Tea. That's what it's called. And we talk about all the things you wish you'd been told about pregnancy, parenting, and relationships in the early years. Okay, all the things, like the early years, that's 5 years. That's a lot. And so my tip to you guys is to niche down on what you're offering it to make it really easy for people to buy that thing. I'll give you another example. I have a DIY course. It's called The 7 Secrets. The 7 Secrets to Social Media and Networking, right? I've kind of done it again, very broad. It's kind of like, wait a minute, what do you cover? Is that Pinterest? Is that LinkedIn? I'm like, it's everything, because I want to help everybody. So I guess my tip, looking back, is to really niche down on what you're offering to people and almost offer them smaller, more measurable things. So that's just one of my little tips I wanted to share with you. Make sure you've got an opt-in or lead magnet when they arrive. This is Jo from Vanilla Bloom. This is a screenshot of her website. So that's her website when you land on it, and then all of a sudden, it'll pop up. And so if you're a product-based business, giving people a percentage, like a voucher, is great. If you're a service-based business, give them some sort of lead magnet, like I mentioned before. Make sure you've got the social follow and the social share buttons on your website. Ideally, have the Facebook likes box on your website as well, so they can like your Facebook page without leaving your website. We don't want them to click and go off into the big wide world of Facebook. She's agreeing with me. That's good. We want them to stay on the website so that they can work with you eventually, so that you can do what you came here to do, which is help them with whatever it is that you're helping people with. So here's a little summary. Know your so that for your client and for yourself, the dream board. Give, give, get. Use cool tools. Know and target your niche and give them niche offerings and bring them on home to your website. I think that is the last slide. There's one more, but there we go. Awesome. Hey, I'm going to go off, but I wanted you guys to turn to each other, just turn to a stranger, and tell them one action that you're going to do as a result of something I've covered today. So one thing you're going to do, like an action that you're going to take, because I'm really into action. So make a bit of a commitment to the person beside you, one thing you're going to act on from my presentation. Thank you very much.